I want to go across now to Chairperson of the Delhi Dialogue Commission, member of the National Disciplinary Committee of the Aam Aadmi Party, Ashish Khetan, is joining us on the newsroom this evening. Now, Ashish, you were amongst the AAP leaders who were at the forefront of levelling charges against Prashant Bhushan and Yogendra Yadav, and yet somehow you managed to find a place on the National Disciplinary Committee. Now, in this case, you seem to have been judge, jury and executioner. Does this not go against every tenet of jurisprudence? How can you be an eyewitness, be levelling charges and yet sit on the jury, Ashish?
Well, the charges against Prashant Bhushan ji, Yogendra Yadav ji and other two colleagues, former colleagues, are very serious. They amount to not just gross indiscipline but also anti-party activities and working in a way which was strengthening the hands of the opposition parties and weakening our own party. Now the entire NE, the National Council and the whole party has taken a principled stand against the four of them.
Ashish, you're not answering my question. Ashish, my question is that you were on the National Disciplinary Committee. How can you, as somebody who was at the forefront of levelling charges against Prashant and Yogendra, be a member of that committee?
The entire party, Rahul, the entire Aam Aadmi Party today has taken a principled stand against the gross indiscipline and anti-party activities of the quartet. So, in fact, if Prashant Bhushan ji says that he would be investigated by somebody outside the party, then only you can find somebody who would be independent according to Prashant Bhushan's point of view. The entire party, this is a party matter and will only be handled by people.
Ashish, there was a National Disciplinary Committee that was set up. You issued them a show cause. There was a National Discipline Committee that was set up. You looked at the response that they gave in the show cause. It isn't as if a Khap Panchayat took the decision. The decision was taken first by this disciplinary committee and later ratified by the larger body. You were on that committee. Now, you were levelling charges against Prashant and Yogendra, yet somehow you were on that committee. Should you not have recused yourself? How can you yourself, Ashish, be on a committee where the charges that you've levelled are now being investigated?
So let me put this in perspective, Rahul. It's not about personal allegations leveled by me or XYZ against Prashant Bhushan which were under investigation. The allegations amounted to holding unauthorized meetings, holding a referendum that whether this party has deviated from the core principles of Swaraj, the referendum about whether a new party should be floated, and where Prashant Bhushan ji and Yogendra Yadav ji and other party colleagues for the last several months, and in particular for the last 15-20 days, have been going out in public saying things like that there has been a Stalinist purge, comparing the national convener who has been elected by the entire party to dictator, and saying all kinds of abusive, filthy things about the national convener, bringing disrepute to the party,
Ashish,
maligning the image of the national convener.
You're a past master of television and I'm afraid that you're deflecting from my question. One second, Ashish, there is a personal allegation. Ashish, because in some of the charges you said that Prashant Bhushan told me this himself, that I was there at that meeting, this is what Prashant Bhushan told me. That was part of the charge that you levelled. So clearly, you're an eyewitness in this case, then suddenly you're on the National Disciplinary Committee. So are we to take it that this was a farce, that the end result was known, that these people were to be executed, all of you were puppeteers just carrying out what Arvind Kejriwal wanted? You're saying this is not personal, but it is personal. You are levelling charges yourself, Ashish.
Let me tell you. Okay, now let me tell you that today I think anything that Prashant Bhushan ji and Yogendra Yadav ji says passes the muster without any scrutiny. Now tell me one party in the entire world, in any democracy, tell me one party where two party members go out and openly hold a referendum, unauthorized, illegal, unconstitutional, and ask people that whether now the need has arisen to float a new party, where they openly criticize the party national convener who has been democratically elected by the entire party, by the party base, by the entire volunteer base, who two members who compared the national convener with Stalin, with Hitler, saying that he has compromised, he is corrupt and so on. Tell me one party which would
But Ashish, that still doesn't answer my question of how you yourself, when you were levelling personal charges against Prashant Bhushan, how could you be sitting on the National Disciplinary Committee? No, I am, but you're not answering my question.
Rahul, listen to me. I have answered your question. This body was constituted by the national executive. National Executive is one of the highest decision-making bodies in the party. This disciplinary committee was not constituted by one individual or by the national convener. It was constituted by a highest decision-making body within the party.
In that's
and
exactly what Prashant Bhushan and Yogendra Yadav are saying, that the Aam Aadmi Party is veering away from its core principles. Your constitution says, Ashish, that the Lokpal will pick his successor. The Lokpal will be one who will be out of the active functioning of the Aam Aadmi Party, so that he is not influenced by what's going on. You've thrown your Lokpal out, you clearly don't care, and you've set up this ad hoc disciplinary committee, and this is the larger point that they're making.
It's not an
that
ad hoc
the AAP seems
committee.
to be veering away. You're veering away from your core principles, Ashish. That's the charge they were leveling.
Okay. Let me just make it very plain and simple to you, Rahul. We are not here to keep experimenting with the whims and fancies that the Bhushan family or Yogendra Yadav has about how a party should be run. I have not quit journalism. Somebody else has not quit the job of income tax commissioner, and other people have not quit their jobs and making great personal sacrifices to keep inventing the concept of Swaraj within the party. We have not deviated. We are today committed to provide corruption-free governance to the people of Delhi. We today stand committed to fulfill all our poll manifesto promises that we made to the people of Delhi, to provide affordable electricity, to provide clean drinking water, to make Delhi one of the first corruption-free states in India, to provide jobs and job security to the youth of Delhi, to provide women of Delhi security. This is what we are focusing on day in, day out.
Ashish, one of the other charges that Prashant Bhushan levels against the Aam Aadmi Party, and you especially, okay, so you made your point that you really want to get on with governance, you want to throw the irritants out.
And not to fight with Prashant Bhushan or Yogendra Yadav.
Okay, Ashish, one of the other serious charges.
Tell me one utterance that Prashant Bhushan, Yogendra Yadav has made about corruption in recent past. Tell me one utterance that they have made about communal politics. Tell me one utterance that they have made so many other perils that exist in a democracy.
Okay,
Tell me one
Ashish,
issue
I want to
that
move to my next question. You made that point. I want to move to my next question. Ashish, in the interview
their only agenda is to keep targeting Ashish.
One of the charges you level against Prashant Bhushan is that he is running a 700 crore rupee PIL factory. Now, you know Prashant Bhushan very well. You've been fellow travelers in many causes. Where is the evidence to back the suggestion that Prashant Bhushan is running a 700 crore rupee PIL factory? Because from what's in the public domain so far, Prashant Bhushan says he doesn't charge for any of the PILs he files.
Let's have Prashant Bhushan ji in this debate. Rahul, you hold this debate between me and Prashant Bhushan ji. I want to ask Prashant Bhushan ji, and I want to make this disclosure, that you know and I know and Prashant Bhushan ji knows that I was the journalist who provided him the 2G tapes and Neera Radia tapes, on the basis of which he filed his 2G PIL. I was the one who provided him the coal files, on the basis of which he filed the coal PIL. Look at his PIL and look at the story. I did the cover story. His PIL is a copy paste of my coal story, exposing the UPA for the coal corruption, for the coal scam. Now you are right that we have been fellow travelers. I want to ask Prashant Bhushan ji. He made a very serious, baseless,
no, Ashish, again, I'm coming to that separately. Right now, I'm asking you, Ashish, no, but you're not answering my question. I'm the moderator. I will ask you about the charges he's leveled against you separately. You're saying he runs a 700 crore rupee PIL factory. But Ashish, you must answer my question. I'll come to the charge that he's leveling next. I'm asking you, 700 crore rupee PIL factory. Where is the evidence of that?
What did I exactly say? Play my bite. Play my bite. What did I exactly say? And Prashant Bhushan ji was with me in another TV debate, and he said that he has been blessed to have an inheritance of 500 crore rupees, which allows him to work in public interest. We don't have that luxury. Prashant Bhushan ji should have a heart for his other party colleagues who are working in far more difficult circumstances. Prashant Bhushan ji doesn't have to worry about his kids' school fees. Prashant Bhushan ji doesn't have to worry about his house rent, his driver's salary. Prashant Bhushan ji is fortunate enough to have the comfort of inheritance of hundreds of crores of rupees. He can go and take a break at his tea estate in Himachal Pradesh. He can go and work out of a bungalow in Noida. He can have several bungalows in and around Delhi. That's fine. I'm not doubting Prashant Bhushan ji's integrity. I am deeply hurt, and Rahul, you would be deeply hurt if I, as a former colleague, tomorrow level baseless allegations against you and say that your integrity was always doubtful, what will be your response? The kind of response that you will give, Rahul, was exactly the kind of response that I gave.
Okay, this is what Ashish Khetan had said earlier. He's asked us to play out that reaction. Let's listen to what Ashish said earlier in the day about Prashant Bhushan.
Accused me of something which never existed.
Very unfortunate, because you're questioning where this money came from. You're essentially casting aspersions on whether he's been able to create the 700 crore rupee empire through PILs. Is that your suggestion? Is that what you're saying? Do you have evidence, Ashish?
I wish you do your homework, Rahul. I am saying Shanti Bhushan ji at one point of time was the retainer of all the top corporate companies in this country. Where has Shanti Bhushan ji accumulated his wealth from? Has he accumulated his wealth from filing public interest litigations? Shanti Bhushan ji has defended some of the most corrupt companies, some of the most corrupt individuals, has been the defense lawyer in some of the most scandalous episodes in this country. But that's one episode. What I'm saying is that the kind of parameters, the kind of yardstick that Prashant Bhushan ji applies to others, he doesn't apply to his own family. When Shanti Bhushan ji makes baseless allegations against Arvind Kejriwal, against Ashutosh, against Sanjay Singh, calls that Arvind Kejriwal is worse than Kiran Bedi, is worse than Ajay Makan as a CM candidate. What I am saying is that Prashant Bhushan ji is not consistent. I have highest regard for Prashant Bhushan ji. We have worked together. We have been fellow travelers. I have some good memories as well. This is extremely unfortunate. Prashant Bhushan ji comes out and makes the baseless allegation, and I am saying this on your channel, in this TV program, that tomorrow I am giving 90 days to Prashant Bhushan ji as a senior Supreme Court advocate, that tomorrow Prashant Bhushan ji, or within 90 days, if he can furnish an iota of evidence of corruption against me, of impropriety against me, where he can show that I have taken any undue favor, a single penny to do a story or not do a story, I will quit public life. And I want to ask Prashant Bhushan ji through your channel that what will he do if he fails to prove the allegation that he made?
Okay, I'm going to leave it over there. Ashish Khetan, thank you for joining us. This is very unfortunate. When people who work together for so long end up as foes, it gets really nasty. But in some senses, it was completely inevitable. Matters had reached such a pass that the Arvind Kejriwal camp and the Yogendra Yadav Prashant Bhushan camp working together was almost impossible.